What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 8th of December. We are going to take a look at Bitcoin, XRP, and we'll take a look over at the markets. We'll look at the S&P 500, and I think we're going to look at the Nasdaq. So Bitcoin has been on a very large move higher, and it's not a surprise to me. I've been keeping my eye on it basically on a daily basis for a very long time here. So when the trend starts to change, I am watching it. I personally trade the Bitcoin micro futures, but that's besides the fact. When Bitcoin goes up, usually the rest of the cryptocurrency is correlated, which will move higher. And that's pretty much what we have seen. Bitcoin looking like it wants to roll over for a bit. Now, we don't know how low and how long that will be, but sometimes cryptocurrencies will actually start to run after Bitcoin starts to top out. Theory is money flows out of Bitcoin into other cryptos. So we have some resistance up in here. We didn't quite make it to the top of this range, which is the 48,000 level. Looks like we hit around the 45,000 level. So there is a lot of baggage and resistance above the market in this area. But I mean, this thing is putting on an incredible fight to the upside. So markets cannot go vertical forever, and that is to the downside and to the upside. So when markets crash like what we saw over here in May, markets go straight down. Eventually, something will happen and they'll trade sideways before, continuing that move straight down again. Point is, markets don't go straight up or straight down every single day, into perpetuity there. So when we're seeing, and we saw it right here too, so we have Bitcoin rocketing higher here. That was back in October. Eventually, we had this choppy, crashing upwards move here. And then we get the parabolic move once again. So we're probably getting into a zone here, or into a time frame where the markets are going to be some kind of a sideways choppy action, whether that's choppy to the upside or choppy to the downside, like we saw right here between the 24th, give or take, and December. So that's October through December. So we'll see. The trend is obviously higher, so stepping in front of something like this and going short, I wouldn't do. But anyways, I would expect some kind of a pullback here for Bitcoin. Incredible move. Finally above 38,601.89 resistance. XRP, what's going on here with XRP? XRP looking like it's cooling off a bit. Definitely is. We're at 64 cents. Doing a little bit of a ping pong between some resistance levels and support levels. So 65,160 as well as 63,740. So we have upper resistance, lower support, and the markets are basically unchanged right now. Not too much going on. Down 0.01%. So we'll see. We do have the higher high that came in here. So we have a higher high that took place on the 26th. We get a pullback to a higher low on the 27th. Start to rally. This day, man, what a day that was. Markets started to rocket, then they took out the lows, took out the highs, and then the market continues higher. So that was a big shakeout day. So seeing the market actually move higher after that, quite bullish. Looks like we're having some trouble here getting above that 65-cent range. But after this day here, nice to see the market actually start to tick back higher. So that was a big shakeout day across the board. So that sucks for anybody who got shaken out. And it's usually those leverage traders that trade super leveraged. So something to keep in mind. Just, be careful about that. Know what you're in for. And it makes holding through days like that quite a bit easier if you're not on crazy high leverage. So that's XRP. We'll see, guys. If the trend continues higher, it's nice to see. We still have the trend is still in place here. The uptrend, that is. So we have the low. We have a higher high, higher low. Things get weird here. We did make a new high. We also made a new low, but the markets are actually making another high. So the trend overall is still to the upside. So that is good to see for the bulls. As far as some super high XRP price predictions, I'm not your guy. We're sitting at 64 cents. Ripple, the company, is doing very big things behind the scenes. And then, the public knows a lot. But the reality is the price is 64 cents. So we'll see. Anyways, let's see XRP. We did Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, the SPX. So the SPX has held up better than some of the other averages here. So for example, the Nasdaq has rolled over slightly where the S&P actually held and then actually started to move higher yesterday. So we'll see if we get that breakout once again into some new recent highs here for the SPX. That would be very nice. We have a area over here. We want to break past this high right here. So this would be the 27th of July. So that is that. Keep in mind, we do have some gaps below the market in the S&P 500. One there, which would be roughly the 44.23 area. One way down here, 43.18, as well as down there in the 42.40 area. Wow. So not sure about that gap, but this one up here is definitely a thing of concern. Let's check out the Nasdaq. So let's see here. Hope everybody is doing well. We're heading into the holidays here, trying to get back on a more of a normal routine for the videos here. Let's check out the Nasdaq, the NDX. So the Nasdaq had a nice day yesterday as well. We almost filled, not quite. We didn't quite fill this gap here on the Nasdaq, and that would be between the dates of the 13th as well as the 14th of November. This day right here, which is the 4th of December, nice pullback, closed at the higher end of the range. Tried to fill the gap, didn't fully do it, but I guess it's good enough because they started to move the market higher after that. And we'll see. We'll see if the Nasdaq can break into new recent highs, or is this just a rising wedge that's going to roll over? So we'll have to see. I think the S&P is going to lead this one here. The Nasdaq was leading before. The Nasdaq rolled over. So we'll see if the S&P takes the helm here and then the Nasdaq follows. But anyways, we are long the S&P 500 futures, the micro futures. We are no longer long the Nasdaq micro futures, although we will get long if this thing starts to show that it wants to be bullish again. But when you start to get markets rolling over like this, it's time to lock in your profits because we have gaps below the market and we don't want to watch our profits evaporate, especially after holding for a large run here. So that is the NASDAQ 100. We looked at the S&P, the SPX. We looked at Bitcoin. We also looked at XRP. Here, let's check out the NQ futures. Yeah, so this is showing that the NQ futures are up this morning. 192. I did not see that on my other platform. Let's check something else out real quick. So pretty much going to wrap this video up, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. If you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and join us here. Like I said, try to get back on a normal routine here for posting videos. I have a link down in the video description. Check out my other YouTube channel. There is some recent woodworking videos on there. And then there's my older, not too old, but about a month and a half ago was the last video posted. Some pretty cool skate clips. But the woodworking videos are all new. Check those out. Let me know your thoughts over on TikTok, Instagram, as well as YouTube. All right, guys. Take care. Let's see if this NASDAQ can break out. That would be cool to get back into the NQ micro futures. Take care.